1, 2, 3. There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there, and the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore, and the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirits shall sorrow no more. Not a sigh for the blessing of rest, and the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore, and the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore.
All right, everyone out there in Banjo Land, Mike Hedding here, coming to you today with another backup lesson for the classic gospel song, In the Sweet By and By. I had Clint, my friend and former bandmate, come in to my old studio and sing a bunch more songs that I'll be releasing as time goes on. And he did this one in the key of A. And I think these old gospel songs just sound great. Scruggs style, crow style backup fits them perfectly. We don't need to get super fancy. We're just going to learn how to play super straightforward bluegrass style backup. Got my capo on the 2nd fret, my 5th string tuned up to A, and I'll break down. We got 2 verses and 2 choruses. I'll break all the backup I played down note for note, just like I just played at the beginning of the video. And I'll give you a bunch of, let you into my thought process on why I chose certain rolls, why I chose certain licks, how we're going to kind of stay away from the melody, playing licks around the vocal lines. We'll break all that down. All right, let's jump into In the Sweet By and By backup. Alright, so let's start breaking down this first verse and chorus back up to the classic gospel song, In the Sweet By and By. Clint wanted to sing it in the key of A, so I'm just in regular G tuning, but up a whole step. I've got my capo on the 2nd fret. I've got my 5th string spiked up to A. If you didn't have a capo or don't have spikes, though, you could also play it in the key of G. So let me start by playing the first 8 measures into the very beginning of measure 9, which is like halfway through the verse, and then we'll start breaking it down measure by measure. Here we go. Let me do it a little faster. And one time really slow. Okay, so what I like about this song is that you get a lot of practice playing the chords for different measures. So sometimes the C will only be for 1 measure. Sometimes the C will be for 2 measures. Same thing with the G, same thing with the D. Sometimes the D will be 1 measure, 2 measures, 4 measures. So you get a lot of practice on staying on the chords for a different length of time, which I think is really good practice. So we're going to start, the first 3 measures is just going to be a G, C, remember relative to our capo, and then back to G. Okay, so that's all we're doing there. G, C, back to G. And remember, I'm playing backup, so I generally want to stay away from the melody as much as I can. So I'm going to play a lot of forward roll. We're going to stick a lot to Scruggs style on this lesson. I'm not going to add a lot of fancy licks, any melodic style or anything like that. I think just classic Scruggs style sounds perfect for the backup for this song. So we're going to start by basically, our first G chord is going to set up our C. So we're going to do an alternating thumb roll with the 2-5 slide. So 4-3-5-1. And then we're going to do a forward roll, 3-2-1, and then one more 5th string with a 2-4 slide on the 3rd string. And that's going to lead up into our C. So basically what we're playing is like we're kind of embedding a little bass style walk into that roll where we're playing the open third string, open second string, and then up to the first fret second string. Hear how we're kind of walking up in pitch to those notes? And the only thing different there I'm doing is I'm sliding into each of the notes, which is very common for bluegrass, right? So the open third string, 5th fret on the 4th string, so I'm sliding into it. And then same thing, 4th fret on the 3rd string is the same as the open 2nd string, hopefully if you're in tune, and I'm sliding into that. But the underlying idea is I'm just walking up in pitch to that C chord. You know, you can even do pinches. G, right? You kind of hear how it walks up. And the only thing different there I'm doing is I'm just sliding into each of the notes. You couldn't loop measure 1 because it starts and ends with your thumb, but you can practice it. Don't slide too fast on either of them. And then we're going to go into a C. You have to start this roll with your index finger because the last note of measure 1 is my thumb. So index finger of your right hand, go into your C. And I might just go into a 2-finger C. I mean, you can put your middle finger down on the 2nd fret if you want, but I usually don't, honestly. And then I'm going to do 2 forward rolls, 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1. And make sure you give beat 1 a quarter note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Make sure you play the timing of that correctly. And with the C, I'm just playing what I call a generic forward roll, highlighting that C note, which is the root note, and then keeping that forward momentum going by using the forward roll. That's all I'm doing there. So. And then I'm going to do a little lick. Open 3rd string, back to G, hit the 5th string, which is also a G, and then a backwards pull-off lick. So we go down the strings, 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string with the pull-off, 3-2 pull-off on the 3rd string. And then I'm hitting one more middle finger on my 1st string. Remember, beats 1 and 2 are quarter notes, so it's 1, 2, 3 and then you're doing a little 16th note, 4E and, 4E and. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. And I'm getting a 16th note because I'm pulling it off before I play my middle finger of my right hand. Sometimes you'll line that up, which would be like an 8th note pull off. But in this instance, we're playing it a little faster. So you have. Remember, your right hand doesn't change. Your right hand's still going. That's all your right hand's doing there. So let's put those first 3 measures together. Not too hard. That's into measure 4. And then we're just going to do a little fill lick, outside strings, 5, 1. And then a walk up back to our slide, open 4 string, open 2nd fret 4 string, 2nd fret 4 string. And then another slide, forward roll, 2, 5 slide, 4, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 1 are my strings. What I call, remember, like a generic sounding forward roll, just that classic, just kind of in the background roll that's keeping the tempo and keeping the rhythm going. Couldn't get too much practice with measure 5. And then another kind of fill lick, open 3rd string, open 1st string, and then 5, 3, 1, another forward roll, back to the open 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, and then 1st string. You've probably played this one before. It's just a lick. It's like a Scruggs fill lick. And what we're doing there is embedding another bass style walk where we're walking from the 3rd string, 2nd fret 4th string, and then we're going to go down to a D open 4 string, which is a D note. So we're kind of is embed those little bass style walks into my backup. So let's put 5 and 6 into the beginning of 7 together. So we have, hear how that walks down? You could even do it with pinches. It might sound a little more pronounced, so it'd be. So that's what we're doing there. And then a little D lick, classic Scruggs D lick, open 4-string, middle finger on the 1st string twice, and then a 2-3 hammer on. My thumb on my right hand comes down. I do thumb middle, and then a forward reverse roll. Keep your left hand down. So it's like I do a forward roll, 5th string, take my left hand off, and then that backwards pull off lick we already did. So it's. I love that lick because it's a perfect mixture of space at the beginning. So don't rush through that part. Very common mistake is to rush through that. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and. That's into the beginning of measure 9. So let's put 6 through the beginning of 9 together. We have. Kind of like to accent those middle fingers. And then I really try and get my pull-offs to snap. So that's like halfway through the verse part. Let's play that part. Here we go.